Hey, welcome everyone back to the Dusty Wheel here on another Watt Wednesday. It's December. It's crazy. It feels like Christmas, if you ask me. We're happy to be back in our studio here. Our live little test we did the other day with having in-studio participants. We loved that, but we're glad to be back in the format that we've come to excel in, hopefully. But what are you here for? Is to hear all about the new announcement we got today from Amazon Prime. So I want to say to Amazon Prime, I want to say, dear Amazon Prime, Wheel of Time on Amazon Prime, these are the amount of ways I love you. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, honestly, it's number 4, let's be honest, because Pat and Fane, right? We got Tom, we got Logain, and we got Loyal, but in reality, we got Pat and Fane back. And hopefully you all knew how much this was going to mean to me. He's going to be in the series, and I can't wait to talk about what that means to have him announced like this. But let's show you all those. Let's tackle Pat and Fane first, and go over what Rafe told us about Johan Myers. If you have not read this tweet yet from Rafe, he said, Johan, he was actually the very first shot of the show, riding his cart into the two rivers. And the way he stepped off that cart and took in the town will make you smile and shiver simultaneously in the way only Pat and Fane can. Yes! I cannot wait until that shot. I can't wait to talk about him. The second individual, obviously, we got chosen for us here is Loyal, played by Hamed Anamashon. And of him, Rafe said, Loyal's always been a character I was excited and terrified about because of how perfect the actor has to be to pull off what's required. Hamed is so good that when his first audition came through, every single producer on the show emailed back within 5 minutes that he was the one. I mean, I don't know what else you can say about that. I can't wait to talk about him too. The third individual we got announced today, Tom Marilyn, played by Alexandra William. And of him, Rafe said, ye of little faith. And I'm sure he's not talking to any of us currently watching or talking about this. Ye of little faith. Sometimes it takes a minute to find someone who's absolutely perfect to play a character as important as Tom. I was actually in an old inn with him this afternoon to witness a Gleeman performance. And let me tell you, he is something special. So Tom is with us. I don't know if did we all doubt that? I can't remember. In our adaptation, maybe we'll have to talk to my panelists here shortly and talk all about that. But let's mention our fourth, Logain, is going to be played by Alvaro Morte. And about him, Rafe said, I am in love with Alvaro Morte. I cried real human tears in my office when I watched his performance of his first scene. He's going to break you. So there we go. Oh, man, I was at work. I got this announcement, all 4 of these. And what does this mean for us? And I can't wait to kind of read your comments, hear your calls. But first, let me bring in my panelists. As always, with much love, I'm so excited to have with me here Mary, Todd, and Tal. How you guys all doing tonight?
Hi.
We're back.
Excited.
Aren't you glad to be back? And this is a great way to come back, right?
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
Happy Thanksgiving. But Merry Christmas, right? That's how I feel. I think I tweeted about this, that this reminds me of Jimmy Stewart running through, the streets at the end of It's a Wonderful Life, screaming, Merry Christmas, Bedford Falls, Like, that's how I felt. I don't know why. I was sitting at work going, Merry Christmas, Bedford Falls.
Because it's What Wednesday, buddy.
It's What Wednesday. So
Yeah.
That's why.
Yes.
So what do you all think? Okay, so I'll save my favorite for the end, which is Pat and Fane, of course. Let's tackle Logain here. Did any of you have an initial reaction to? Yeah. Mary, you had a reaction.
Pretty.
He's gonna break you, apparently, Mary. That's what Rafe says.
Yes, please.
What was the reaction here? Have any of you had a chance to look up his work?
I have.
Go, Tal, go.
I watched a clip from IMDb, and he is just beautiful. And he's got a really beautiful voice and like these really gorgeous, charismatic eyes. And my Spanish is not good enough to like be super excited about that kind of acting because Who knows? But he looks real pretty, and I'm excited.
He looks really pretty, and I'm excited. I think that's sufficient. That's Alvaro Morte. Anyone else? Todd, what do you think about this casting?
When I first saw him, I had to look for a while before I found something that was in English where I could hear him actually speaking English. And I was really excited. He looks the part. He sounds the part. If you look at him really close, he looks like not a really young, but a youngish Tim Curry. And I thought that was pretty funny to kind of compare the two of them.
I never put Logain and Tim Curry together.
I didn't either, but if you look, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim Curry plays menacing real well.
Mm-hmm.
We forget that.
Oh, yeah.
We forget
Yeah.
that.
Yes,
Well,
definitely.
What's interesting is Logain we obviously knew he was going to be in the series. And we knew that he was going to play an expanded role. So what I think is interesting is that he was announced along with these three. Because, at least for me, if you think about it, Tom, Loyal, and Patton Fane actually play bigger roles. So it says to me that Rafe and his team plan for those significant roles in the books for those three characters, and that Logain is now being kind of raised into that same category of these three.
On par.
Yeah, and that's how I took this, which was, in order to be, announced like this and in this group, this is, barely secondary to all the announcements that have made to this point. So that makes me really excited for what that means for Logain, but also for these three characters. Let's jump over to Tom. So Tom's in. I mean, how does
Yes.
how does
Yes.
how do you guys feel about the fact that Tom's here with us?
I'm not mad.
You're not mad.
He needs to be there.
Yeah.
He's way too central, especially in Eye of the World. You definitely need a Tom.
Was there any point that any of you three doubted that he was going to make the cut?
No.
You're just waiting. Yeah. I can't remember. Did he make our adaptation cut?
He must
made
have,
it.
because the three of us are saying we wanted him.
Yep.
People are watching and gonna be like, "No, he didn't. You jerks, cut Tom."
Show us the receipts, YouTube.
So yeah, Tom here, as far as being played by Alexandra, is it William?
William?
William. I haven't seen the work he's done. I did notice that I think he played. I'm trying to think of what the movie was recently. Oh shoot! Now I can't remember the name.
Give me a sec.
I can't remember the name of the recent 2018 film he did. But I guess I had seen him in that, but
Tomb Raider?
Yeah, Tomb Raider.
Yeah, he was
There
in
we
Tomb
go.
Raider.
Sorry, I was like, somebody help me out here.
Yeah, Tomb Raider.
He was in Tomb Raider, and I hadn't even gone back to watch that or anything yet, but will. Interesting that they picked someone here. I mean, I guess all these actors seem pretty, and maybe they shouldn't obviously be very mature and have kind of a history in acting. And I think we can kind of, I mean, Johan, I've seen stuff that I just jumped to Patton Fane. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that, but I've seen some of his work, and so I'm looking forward to each one of these kind of jumping into the role. But they're not well known to at least the American audience.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, I
know.
love that. I love not knowing anything about these actors.
Because they're just going to walk into it and we'll believe them right off the bat. We don't have to lose who we know them as.
Yeah, I love that part. I love that for me, I don't know how others feel across the world that might know these actors a little bit better than us. But for me, this entire show, other than Rosamund and maybe Daniel Henney, I guess, I didn't really know them very well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that aspect. Loyal here. I mean, Hamad Animashan. Did I say that right? Yeah,
Sounds right.
Hopefully I'm close there. Any reactions to his casting? Loyal's in the show. How do you guys feel?
Fine.
I feel
Great.
I'm excited because he's a big guy, and so that tells me that there's not going to be a whole lot of CGI associated with him. I'm hoping that they're gonna fix him up.
think
I
more
love
like-
his face. Like, I really hope they don't screw around with his face.
Well, it's more kind of practical effects here.
Practical effects, yeah. And he has a theater background, so that should be very interesting.
It's one of
Definitely.
the pieces that's consistent, I think, amongst most of the announcements is a background in movement. Right? So Alexandre William is like he's got experience in action movies. Hamed is theater, which means he knows how to move his body, how to control where it goes and what it does, and
How to
sort
be
of
larger
master
than
that.
life,
Yeah.
because that's definitely needed in theater.
Johann Myers looks, not that we're talking about him quite yet, has a really broad CV. Like he's got a nice range of stuff.
We can talk about him because we need to make sure that everybody knows that Matt and I were for Fang, and so we're happy that he's here.
And I'll take the hit. I thought they would cheap out and skip Loyal. I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah, I'm excited.
You're coming back. Well, I mean, we know how much the fans loved them, loved Loyal from our from our live adaptation.
Yeah.
But
so you guys win.
But it's not even that. I mean, think about again. They've announced him. He seems, I don't know. To me, this announcement suggests that these characters are going to play the central roles, at least how I view them in the books. Very much in the Wheel of Time television series, also, which is exciting. Not that not that they're going to play every single role that we've ever had, but that they're going to play. In other words, they're not going to do everything that's in the books, but they're going to play a central role. And from a casting perspective, I'm very excited about that. So yeah, why don't we jump to Johann Myers? Padan Fain is in the series, and I don't know who else is watching right now is really excited about this. By the way, if you are watching, go tell people to come in. I'd love to hear all the reactions. We'll open the call lines in about 10 minutes or so, and you can give us a call and talk to us about how you're feeling about these announcements. So yeah, go share it, subscribe if you're here. But yeah, Johann Myers playing Padan Fain. I've watched some of his work, and I know that at the table read we saw him. We kind of knew he was going to be in the series, and I know a lot of fans had suggested maybe this is Padan Fain. And I liked Michael McElhatton for this role in Padan Fain, but Johann looks like he's going to kill it from what I've seen. And from what Rafe mentioned, that the idea this is one of the first scenes that we get, and seeing him step off the cart, if you will, and in the two rivers, that's going to be, I don't know.
Imagine that huge smile with some psychotic eyes, and I'm just like, oh yeah, this is the guy. This is
his
the guy.
eyes.
Yeah.
Are amazing.
No,
I'm really excited.
I mean, what did it say to you that these 4 roles were in the show? Do you see any significance of this announcement by, Wheel of Time on Prime? These 4 characters. Is it significant to you at all? No, you think it's just kind of par for course?
Yeah, I think the only thing that maybe they're bringing Logain in for a lot more than in the books at the beginning, and I think this maybe is letting us know that ahead of time. But I'm cool with that.
So, and I do want to point this out. We've gone through. I guess from a speculation standpoint, we've had fun with this idea of will Tom be there or not. I mean, a lot of fans have online. Will Padan Fain be in? Will Loyal be cut? We've talked about these things in live adaptation. I feel like we got these 4 central kind of male characters, and so I just want to make the suggestion to Wheel of Time on Amazon Prime. You don't have to follow the suggestion, of course, but it does seem like the next announcement that you make in January, maybe we might see some female characters that we're kind of expecting.
We're going to see the Aes Sedai, without a doubt.
Min, we're happy to put together the list for you of 4 that we'd like to see. But we're happy to cut them first in our live adaptation if that's what's going to take. I'm hopeful, right? I'm hopeful January's announcement is, kind of, I want to say some missing characters here. But yeah, some from the ones that have been announced at this point. It'd be really nice in January if we saw, some female characters that we haven't seen yet. Who are the ones that you'd like to see Amazon Prime give us? If they had to give us 4, anyone on the panel care to pick 4 that they'd like to see next?
Oh, yeah.
Lanfear.
Elida.
Oh, Lanfear.
Lanfear.
Yeah.
I thought we cut Lanfear.
I did not cut Lanfear. I did not agree to that.
Lanfear would be awesome. I don't think we're going to get it, but Lanfear would be awesome. Who else?
Varen.
Okay.
Yep.
But it that's only if Varen's going to be key to this first. Yeah, I wonder. I mean, that's a good question. Is how much
Matt, you asked who I wanted to see. I'm telling you who I wanted to see.
Okay. I'll stop insta commenting on them. Go ahead.
I'm just like, if you're asking who I think we'll see, that's different than who I want to see.
Gotcha. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, Lanfear, Varen, Swan, and Elaine.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we do have to see Elaine here, right? Elaine's one of the biggest missing pieces. What do we feel like is Min? Do we feel like we're going to get any? I mean, so far it doesn't seem like we've missed out on any of the main characters. I mean, Mary, do you think we're going to get any major cuts of these kind of, primary and secondary characters that we know so well in the books?
At this point, I don't know. They're going to have to cut something. There's just too much material. But what? Well, and, I don't know why you're asking me. I've been wrong so far.
I mean,
that's fine.
I mean, Min is ripe for it, I guess, from, as we talk about live adaptation.
Yeah.
But it is, I don't know. At this point, it's like you didn't cut Loyal. You didn't cut any of these others. So, it makes me wonder what is, how far can they go? Maybe they won't. Maybe we'll all be loving on Rafe and his team for not taking out these characters. But it does make you wonder because we have this comment that Brandon put out in his newsletter. Let's chat about that. Let's bring that into. I have Brandon's quote here. Right. He in his newsletter he said, "I've been very impressed with Rafe. And during my visit to the set in Prague last month, I found the production to be very high quality. The sets looked great, the acting was on point, and the shots they were filming while I was there looked excellent. I've liked the scripts too, though they are changing some things from the books. Some changes I agree with 100%, some I find a little more uncertain." So, I mean, Brandon says a lot of stuff here, which is exciting for the fans, I guess. High quality production, he thought the acting was on point. I mean, that's always and will be this continual concern for the next year and a half, right? We're seeing great actors come in. Will they be able to embody these roles? Brandon seemed to suggest that he thought so far what he had seen, that was going to happen. He's saying everything looks excellent, but then he does say they are changing some things from the books. So, I mean, we haven't missed out on any characters per se. So I guess he could be saying there, Layla Ibarra, there's an add-in there, right? Potentially of what that means for the books. And so, but yeah, I feel like they're going to have to cut somebody. So that's Brandon's, a comment that some changes he agrees with 100% and some he finds a little bit more uncertain. Does that leave you with any kind of sense of dread, Todd? Are you worried about what Brandon said here, or do you is it just, in line with what you imagine an adaptation would be?
Well, I mean, the fact that he said he's a little uncertain about them tells me that it's something that maybe goes a little deeper than he really wants it to, which means that book fans are maybe going to be kind of disappointed in it. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be bad. That just means we might be a little disappointed.
Yeah. Tal, how do you feel about this? Is this when Brandon says I find a little, more uncertain, and this is right at the beginning, right?
I want him to be uncertain, to be honest with you. Like, there's only one person who is closer to this source material than Brandon, and that's Harriet, right? Sure. So, like, we think we're attached. This is legitimately his much loved stepchild. So
That's true.
I don't actually believe that he would ever be okay in terms of wanting it to be changed, because he sees it as beautiful as the way it is, right? I would like there to be changes. I don't want a straight page to TV adaptation. That's not the point.
Yeah.
So I'm okay.
By the way, before we jump in and kind of address that, we'll open the phone lines up if you want to give us a call. If you haven't ever watched us before, this is a live call-in talk show. And so, you can give us a call at 1-313-TalkWot, 1-313-825-5968. Feel free to give us a call. We'd love to hear your reactions to today's casting, maybe even to Brandon's comment from the newsletter. and, kind of what you're excited about. And while we try to address some of the questions I just saw over in the comments here on YouTube, Tom DeSimone just asked, if they had to cut one of Rand's love interests, who should they cut? So speaking about cut, wow. I think you just do that to spite me a little bit, both of you. It's ridiculous. You were way too fast on the Min comment there. Really, you cut Min. I mean, I guess maybe there's not a good one, because I want to cut Elaine, and that's kind of really difficult to do, but,
You can't cut Elaine without him, not being able to run countries. She's the sole reason he has any political acuity.
Look, I'm not saying it makes any sense whatsoever. I'm just saying if I had to answer that question, it certainly wouldn't have been Min. I agree with Matt Siders in the chat. No way. You can't cut Min. See, this is the divisive side of it, which is there's got to be changes. It's almost like Brandon said that, some I find a little bit more uncertain. It's almost like prepare for there being some changes, but as soon as you say, who are you going to cut? It's Min, which is absurd. By the way, we have Oscar from Sweden calling us. Let's bring him into the show.
Hey, Oscar.
Hey, Oscar. Welcome back to the Dusty Wheel tonight. How you doing?
Tom's alive!
You're excited.
Yeah, a bit. I mean, he's pretty much the one we had got the least hint if he was returning or not. At least with the lawyer we had the tweet about glory to the builder and all that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
That's true. We had a hint that Rafe intended to keep Loyal in there, so Tom was an unknown. I mean, I don't think we had. That's for sure. Are you excited? I mean, obviously, you're very excited about Tom being in the show. How about Pat and
Oscar,
Fane?
what can you tell him?
Yeah. By the way, when in the adaptation, the one person here that was against having Loyal in the show. Come on, give us an apology.
Yeah. That was me.
Yeah, totally me.
I love how
it was an easy out. It was an easy out to Nick's Loyal.
I was cutting time.
For time, budget, plot device, easy to do. So, the fact that he's going to tackle it is, more power to him. Hopefully he gets it right.
But what I love is that Oscar waited up all night in Sweden to give a call to poke you both in the face of saying, you wanted to cut Loyal.
Hey, I told you so's are worth it, aren't they, Oscar?
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome, by the way. That's the best.
But yeah, I think it's kind of interesting about some of the actors that, for example, about Alexander Villon. However you say the last name. I mean, Swedish and Danish are related, but like we say in Sweden, Danish is just someone trying to speak Swedish with a hot potato in your mouth. So I'm probably butchering that last name, but it's kind of interesting the fact that for a while back, he posted a few Instagram posts about the show itself. And I even mentioned something about doing stunts in the show. So here, I think it's kind of interesting that, so if we think about the Winter Night attack, is he going to fight in that fight?
Because he does.
Is he just, or is he just mini stunts as in acrobatic stunts as part of a bard display?
Yeah, I'm hoping
so
both of those.
If that's the case, if that's the case, well, I'm all in for it because he seems to be a very kind of artistry person. I mean, I've seen that he's doing some bit of artwork. Also, I know that he's a bit of a storyteller himself and all that stuff.
And he invited us all for a beer, too.
Did he?
Yeah.
Odds in.
We're all in. No,
we also knew that Johan Myers would be taking part in the show in some part of the way because we saw him at the table read. And the other two, I don't know much about them, but I've heard good things about Alvaro. So I'm looking forward for it.
Yeah, I think this is a huge win. I think all four of these characters. I haven't heard. I mean, again, it's hard. I mean, maybe anyone they cast in the role, I'm going to be pretty sympathetic to, as in giving them a chance to embody the role before I'm too judgmental on it. So I'm going to love probably all the people they pick for these roles, but these four, especially Johan Myers, obviously for Pat and Fane. But I agree. I can't wait to see Tom. You know, they put him in kind of acrobatic ways, or they really have they have him get into that fight in the beginning. I'd love to see him the winter night. Actually get out there in some way. That'd be really cool. Hey, Oscar, very much thank you for staying up. I really appreciate you waiting to give Mary and Tal a really hard time. I really appreciate that. So if you just keep on listening to casting announcements, please call back and give them a hard time again, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Could I ask your opinion about another news that came in the other day about the show? And that is about the fact that the composer David Buckley have been kind of connected to the show, at least through the IMDb page.
Yes.
So I'm just curious if you checked out some of his earlier work in music.
Have any of the three of you checked him out?
No.
I did, yes.
I looked at his work, but I didn't get a chance to listen to it because I looked at it while I was at work. So, but he did music for Jason Bourne, for Join the Fight. Jason Bourne was in 2016. The Good Fight was more recent. He did something called The Town back in 2010. So he's been a composer for a while.
Yeah, there's been a lot of like.
As long as he knows the leitmotif, I think it's all right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one
I'm
we
gonna
haven't
have
brought
to
up
give him
today.
a listen because music is going to be such an integral part of this series, I think, and it's going to do so much to set the tone of everything. So I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, same here.
Hey, Oscar, thank you so much, man.
It's been nice talking to you.
Yeah, you too. We appreciate you staying up and calling in and being a loyal kind of follower of the channel. We really appreciate that.
Loyal.
Loyal. Hey, we'll talk to you next time, okay?
Take care.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye.
Yeah.
There's something interesting about Alvaro Morte that I noticed. He's a lot older than I had pictured Logan being. He's in his 40s. So I'm wondering if that is going to change Logan's role in the series. Or, is his character going to have more of that gravitas and be more of an antagonist at the beginning?
Yeah,
I hope so.
It's interesting. Will they try to make him look younger, or will they just kind of build that into his character? Yeah.
Well, he doesn't look old. And he's
he definitely doesn't look like he's in his 40s. I see what you did there.
Thank you.
Not like some of us.
Yeah.
Hey, let's bring Ben in from Arizona. Hey, Ben, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. How you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Excellent.
Good.
Hey, so what's your reaction to the news today?
Hey, wonderful. Oh man, I was actually so surprised to see so many casting announcements. I thought we'd just get another, one. I thought we were done getting a lot of casting announcements so that they could, spread it out over the next year or so that we have. So I was so surprised and happy to get 4 all at once, and to get, Tom and Loyal and Logan and Pat and Fane. I mean, those were near the top of my list. Now we need to just figure out who the ladies are going to be. Got to get more kitties in Elaine and Min and all them.
Yeah, well, who's your favorite of the 4 that were announced today?
I really love the actor that they cast for Loyal. Something about his eyes; they're very kind, and that's just the overriding thing that I think about Loyal. He's very gentle and kind. And I saw some of his performances. I watched his reel on his talent website. And he just has a really good energy about him that I think is going to fit so perfectly with Loyal. So I think he'll be wonderful.
Yeah, that's great insight. Yeah, I hadn't looked at him close enough to see that. No, that's awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Who do you want to see next for the ladies, as you said? Who's your favorite that you're kind of waiting on?
I really want to see who Elida is going to be, and Elaine. Although I imagine that both of them may be actresses that we don't already know. And Min. I mean, Min is going to be around. She's going to be a major, side character, major character for the entire series if she has a similar role that she does in the books. So any of them, really, it's just the not knowing is sort of, the worst part.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you had a question for us about Watt Wednesday being on April 1st. And so to the panel,
I wanted to see.
There's a Watt Wednesday. I was looking. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was looking at future Watt Wednesdays, and I wondered. I was just curious. I'm like, I wonder in April if it falls on April 1st. And sure enough, next year, the 1st of April is the first Wednesday of the month. And so I was wondering who you guys think that they're going to troll us with on April 1st, who they're going to frolic us with.
Bela.
For Watt Wednesday.
Who they're going to frolic us with.
They're going to cast Bela.
Yep.
They're going to cast Bela. Oh, man. That's a good one.
We'll sit down and talk to Rafe about how we're going to hook all that up on April 1st.
That's an interesting question, if that'll be a joke or not. I can't wait till we get there. Obviously, 4 more shows from now, 4 more months. Yeah, that's it. We're actually going to probably. Well, I'm trying to cast or do a special show on April 1st for that announcement. But we'll see if that turns out. But yeah, I agree. That'll be a fun one. They haven't ever played. Rafe and his team really haven't ever played jokes on us. So I kind of wonder if they'll pick this moment to kind of, since it's dead on April 1st. It'll be funny to see if they're willing to go down that road of teasing fans that mercilessly, or if they'll just give us something like Bela. That'd be fun.
Maybe it'll be a Bela casting video, and they'll repost Mabel's video where he casts Meryl Streep and Robert De Niro as a team of Bela handlers, one being the front of the horse and one being the back.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's awesome.
It's a great video. You guys definitely check it out on Mabel's channel. But I just found that very funny. And I agree. It would be very great if they showed us a picture of Bela and it's just a horse. I think all the fans would actually love that, and they wouldn't mind one bit.
That's hilarious. Hey, thank you so much for giving us a call, man. We really appreciate you calling in, and hope you'll give us another call, as the weeks go on here.
No, thanks, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Ben.
Bye.
Have a good night.
So we've had Nick waiting for a while now, so let's bring Nick in. Nick, how you doing tonight?
Hey, how you guys doing?
We're doing awesome.
Great.
Pat and Fane's in the show. What are you talking about? You're doing amazing.
Yeah, I was wrong about that. But did you see the article that said that he's only there for one episode?
So yeah, let's
come
bring
back another one.
Let's bring that up. You mentioned that in chat. It says so. Johan is only booked for one episode so far, with the chance to return later per deadline. Do you think that's because he is just introduced in the first episode and doesn't appear again till season 2? Okay, so this is making me very sad. I hadn't read that. That's very upsetting, and that's not great news. I don't understand how he'd be in episode 1 and then not in 2. Because I can't imagine they're going to shatter Logoth in episode 1.
They might get out of the 2 rivers. They might get out of the 2 rivers by then.
Yeah, but shatter Logoth, you couldn't
I don't think so.
And him not being a part of Shatter Logoth?
We don't see him in Shatter Logoth, do we?
No.
It all happens off camera.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you can get away with. I was hoping they would just include a part. That's me adding to it.
Honestly, just because we see him in one episode doesn't mean that they didn't film a whole bunch of stuff that they're going to use for other episodes.
True. Okay.
While they had him, right? So there's
that's a good point.
I don't hold a lot of stock in those kind of one-off articles, because that's not how TV is made. It's not made
linearly.
It's very much not linear.
Yeah.
Well, we see him in Barrelon, and then we don't really see him again until Camelin, right?
Right.
Yeah, we see him at Camelin.
So yeah, that could be one episode.
Like, we only find out what happened to him after the 2 rivers in Faldara.
And they were going to skip that, according to my theory, and not get to that till second season.
Right?
That's
so
true.
It's not outside of the realm of possibility.
That's true.
He could be in the first episode, and then we could not see him again until season 2 and or the back half of season 1, depending on how fast you think they're going to move along.
Yeah.
But they are going to take advantage of him being there and film a bunch of stuff that they'll probably insert later. He's not. I don't think that unless he's like a red flag and they're just putting him in there to put him in there. I think he's going to be of equal importance to the other characters announced. Like, I think when they group them together, they're grouping them together for a reason.
Yeah, I'm hopeful.
That's my theory anyway.
I'm hopeful, and
So
obviously
I think,
he makes a better play in season 2 if they don't get to the Great Hunt, right? But because once he's in the Great Hunt, once we're into that section of the books, he definitely would be in more than one episode. So that does suggest that has to make us ask the question, or it does suggest that season 1 might not go too far into the Great Hunt. Maybe that's what's kind of
I think
portrayed here.
My theory is that season 2 has already been ordered by Amazon. I think Amazon's ordering the first 2 seasons like they do with a lot of their shows that they think are going to be so successful, like with The Boys, where The Boys dropped and then the very next day they're like, oh yeah, by the way, there's going to be a season 2. And people are like, but we haven't even watched season 1 yet. What, Yeah. So I really think Wheel of Time is getting 2 seasons, and I think they may film the 2 seasons together. I think they may do an extended filming, because what they said the filming might be like around 18 months, which is a lot, even counting post-production for 1 season.
That's an insane amount of time.
Episodes,
Yeah,
that's an insane amount of time. Now,
did they say shooting or production?
I thought it was shooting.
I think they said overall production, which is why people were putting it in 20.
Production. It's a long time for shooting, but not so much production if you think about the special effects and the sound design and the rest of it. Marketing, like all of that stuff is going to play into production.
Yeah, anyone that's watching right now, did you ever, anyone in the comments, is it shooting or is it production? I thought it was shooting. I thought it was principal photography until then, but maybe I'm wrong.
For 18 months?
Oh, no, not 18 months. Sorry. I thought you meant until May. No. No.
My expectation would be principal photography until May, and then post-production.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Afterwards.
Correct.
But it's an interesting theory.
Yeah, I wonder. This kind of bums me out. Thanks a lot, Nick, for mentioning this Pat and Fane piece. But it does suggest to me, at least, that if they haven't, as far as bringing him back, again, maybe the final deal hasn't been made on season 2, but maybe they're working towards it. Maybe they take Tal, like you said, maybe they've already taken additional kind of shots that they're using in other episodes. Who knows? But yeah, great question. Nick, who's your favorite cast from this group?
I think we lost Nick.
Did we lose Nick? Nick, are you gone? I'm sorry, Nick. I'm sorry we lost you. What were you saying, Todd?
I just wanted to ask y'all something real quick, because I was looking up I'm going to butcher all these names. Hamid, the guy playing Loyal, and they said he's 6'3". And so I was looking, and Johan is 6'3" also, who's playing Pat and Fane. Do you think that's too big? That was my only concern, because I always looked at Fane as a small man. So, not that it really is going to matter that much, but does that catch anybody that he's going to be so tall?
No.
Yeah, that one doesn't.
Depends on how they film it. I mean, he looks scrawny, so he could have that whole scarecrow vibe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good question. By the way, there was a question that I have for the panel here in the YouTube comments, but it was from, let's see, Old Man Havoc. He wrote, Helena Westerman, believed to be playing Lila Ibarra, is still filming with Marcus and Madeline. What do you think she could still be filming? And did she leave with them, or maybe she's in their dreams?
Babies!
Yeah, that's an interesting question. What do you think? Babies. Is that the thought there? I mean, why would she still be, filming with Marcus and Madeline?
Maybe she was the extra girl that left with them.
Yeah, it does make you wonder if they added. But why would they? I'm trying to think of how they would. Well, yeah, why would they add somebody else into the mix? I guess
they give us somebody to care about that they can kill. She's a red shirt.
Oh.
Okay, I'm now on board on this.
Just gave someone else to kill. By the way, the phone line cut off. Sorry to Red Hunter there. Phone line cut off, and those that are waiting, we'll try to get that reconnected so you can call in. But yeah.
Can we talk about the directors?
Yeah, let's.
Yes.
Okay, but first I want to talk about Uta Breisowitz.
Go for it.
So she's an executive producer on the show. And she's like the first named, but it's alphabetical, so it's sort of neither here nor there. So she has directed Stranger Things, Westworld, Jane the Virgin, Black Sails, The Deuce. She has a sick resume, with a good range of special effects and like sci-fi stuff, which I'm really excited about. And I loved season 2 of Stranger Things. It was excellent in terms of how it was shot. It was a really beautiful season. So I'm really excited to see what Uta's going to bring to the table.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm reconnecting the phone, so please keep talking.
So Mary, you want to do Salli?
Yes, another name director is Salli Richardson Whitfield. And I geeked out a little bit because Salli Richardson was the voice of Eliza Maza from Gargoyles. I know, isn't it cool? And she's also she's been in a lot of television shows, but she's also has a lot of directing credits as well. I know she directed an episode of American Gods. She directed 2 episodes of Shadowhunters, and she did an episode of The Punisher, and episodes here and there. So an episode of Luke Cage. Did I read that right?
Jessica Jones for sure. Jones for sure. The Chai, Dear White People.
Yeah.
I am really excited. Also, did we know that she was Drayak from Stargate?
Really? Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Like, that is a deep cut, yo.
It is going to be very interesting. Oh, I heard a phone click.
That was we're almost back there. But yeah.
All right.
I was gonna say I didn't even know the who was the person, Mary, that you first said that
Salli Richardson?
The Gargoyles.
Salli Richardson.
Okay, that was like I don't.
You failed. You failed, Matt.
Yeah.
Matt, are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you.
Go watch Disney Plus. It's on Disney Plus.
A spectacular cartoon from the early 90s.
Probably
long ago.
Yeah. It was real good.
Probably one of the best cartoons of the 90s. And
and beautiful voice, like a really
very
rich, sexy voice.
Beautiful.
And she's from Chicago.
Beautiful.
By the way,
so I mean, if you're working with Lena Waithe right now, you are hot in terms of a commodity. So I am so excited to see her attached to this project.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, reading the pattern just said in chat that the rumor is Helena might actually be cast as Elaine, and that Lila is like a fake, name to throw us off. Nice. I hadn't heard that. That's awesome.
Interesting.
That's almost. That would make a lot more sense to the other question of why she's still filming. By the way, the phone line's back up. Let's bring in Tom's been waiting for us. Let's bring him in. Hey, Tom, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. How you doing?
Hey, man, how's it going?
Good. How are things, fam?
Oh, fantastic. They announced Pat and Fane today, so.
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly. Are you just as excited about Pat and Fane as I am?
Oh, my God. I mean, I was really hoping they wouldn't cut his storyline, but when I saw the actor that they picked for him, and, I looked up a couple of his interviews and some of his stuff on YouTube, I, fell in love with him immediately.
Yes, I know. Pat and Fane. How do you feel about this idea that he might only be in one episode, though?
I think that's just. I think that might just be a red herring. I mean, I can't see them having him in one episode. I mean, he has one of the coolest scenes in the entire first book. I mean, and maybe even in the entire series. In the first book, where he nails the merger to the door. I mean, he's responsible for it. We don't see it on camera, but it would be amazing, to see that.
Yeah, and maybe that's what. Maybe I'll stop buying into all these rumors. As in, maybe he's in more than one episode, and just like the Lila Ibarra. We haven't. Maybe we'll come to find out that a lot of these things were just kind of thrown out there, and people just threw them into to get us stirring the pot, if you will. So I'm going with. You've now brought my faith back into this. I'm going with hopefully this is just a joke about one episode, and he's part of it, and kind of underlying it in the back of scenes, and hopefully he's in Camelin. That's my hope is restored. Thanks, Tom.
I mean, he's got to go through the wait. It's like we need to get the scene of him getting, like infected with Machinchin or whatever happens to him there. So
yeah, you have to have that. See, okay, yeah, I'm back.
Yeah,
I'm back to hope.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for you in that.
I appreciate it. Who else? As far as that list.
No, go ahead, man.
No, I was gonna say, as far as that list, other than Pat and Fane, who are you excited about that we got today?
Tom, really, like, he was fantastic. Like, in Tomb Raider, he was terrific, and I Googled all of them like all day today. Is pretty much what I did instead of doing work like I was supposed to, and just watched a bunch of videos of them. And he was fantastic. Like, I love his voice and his mannerisms, just like as himself. So I can't wait to see like him put on like commenting.
Hey Tom, the commenters in the chat are saying they're hard to hear your audio. I don't know if for some reason they're saying it's, maybe try. I don't know if it's just too close. We're there. Try it again.
Yeah. I just I changed.
Better.
There we go.
Yes.
We're back.
Okay, there we go. All right, cool. Sorry about that.
No, I didn't want to cut you off there. They were just
so many different headsets. I don't know which one's the good one.
This one. Label it.
10-4.
10-4. Yeah.
For women though, I've been re-listening to the series recently with the ear of like, because you know how they said they were kind of going to expand on some characters and lessen some other characters' roles or importance in the series.
Yep.
So there was one specifically that I really think would be interesting if they played around with, and it's a female, so it goes on with what you guys were mentioning before. You're like, let's get some female castings because we haven't had enough yet. Millie Skane, she was the dark friend that tries to kill Rand and Matt when they're on the road to. Yes, but she's a reoccurring character. She comes back in like 3 or 4 times. So I really think that she would be like a cool. This would be a good opportunity where they could get like a famous actress, so like someone with a somewhat big name to play, because she would only have maybe 5 episodes in the entire series where she comes back, but it would just be fun to see her in there, see somebody fun in there in that role.
Yeah, I wonder if though would they announce her like this, or would she just kind of show up? It's kind of, maybe they would. Maybe they would throw her out there, but maybe not tell us who she's playing or something like that effect. No, I'd love that. I would love to if they put a named actress into that role. That'd be
just to throw her in.
Yeah. Just
like
throw her in like that.
Brad Pitt in Deadpool 2.
Yeah, exactly. I would almost prefer it would be like that, where it was like they didn't tell anybody, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's like Angelina Jolie or someone like just not her, but it was someone of that caliber.
Yeah. I love the idea of taking some of the dark friends and doing that. That'd be awesome.
I mean, for the big names, obviously,
Hello.
Varen and Swan and stuff like that. But if they expand on the Aes Sedai like they said they were, we could see more than the Aes Sedai than we saw in the Eye of the World. For, like, specifically, I mean, I'm focusing on the villains a little bit, but like Galina Kazdan would be really like a fun one to see, like who they pick for her.
Yeah.
The Red Aes Sedai who ends up being the Galina. She's a Red Aja. She ends up
with the wise ones.
Yeah, she ends up going back with the Aiel that head back to the waste.
The Shido.
Yeah.
No, it's gone. Oh, Liane. I want to see Liane. The keeper.
Oh yeah.
Is that how they really pronounce her name?
Yes.
In my head, it's always like that's one of those ones I just didn't care about to ever. So it's like
no. So she's Liane, and Ruark's second wife is Liane.
Oh, okay.
They're spelled differently.
That's Liane is like that's a. Yeah, it's one of those names where I'm just like, I don't really care.
We all know I have perfect
Sheriam
pronunciation, so we'll just go with it.
Sheriam would be great. You know who I'd really like is
her.
the ginger from Once Upon a Time. Rebecca Madsen.
I did not watch that show.
By the way, in chat they're saying it's Liana, not Liane. So.
Whatever.
Again, it's like
somebody's got the guide.
Exactly.
The glossary.
Yeah, someone's putting up the glossary entrance. Haplo.
I have somewhere on one of my hard drives like a file that someone had taped of when Robert Jordan used to go to his all of his book signings. Like a lot of times he would just stand up at the podium and go, "It's Aiel, not Ale. It's Nyanaeve, not Nyanaeve," and he would just like say like 7 or 8 things, and then.
Yeah, I still the moment I still remember it when someone was like, "It's not Tame, it's Taim," and I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah, Taim.
That ruins the books for me. Hey Tom, thanks again for calling in, man. Appreciate it. Sorry about the wait there. Sorry the phone line dropped on us.
It's all good.
We got it all back up there. I really appreciate you geeking out with us tonight.
I got to listen to you guys more. It was great.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I appreciate it, and we'll definitely be having you back on the show here next year.
Yay! All right. See you guys later. Happy holidays.
Thanks. And we have one more caller here. It's Lancer. Let's bring him in. He's also been waiting a little bit to jump on. Hey, Lancer. Welcome back to the SWL. How you doing?
Hey, you guys. Good evening, and hope you all had a great Thanksgiving break.
Thanks.
Hey.
Thanks. So what's your reaction?
Well, there's 3 things, and the last one is a question for you guys. One, I am just like you, Matt. I am happy to see Padden Fane put to the face with the name, because those eyes, man, they freak me out, man, and that's what Padden needs. He needs to be something that will freak the bejesus out of you, and he definitely does that. So that's my first thing. My second thing, now we can put to rest this whole Sam Elliott being Tom thing. So
yeah.
Oh, he's way too old.
Way too old.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's so, I didn't even think about that, but yes, thank you to Wheel of Time on Prime for letting us put that fan casting to bed. Much love to Sam Elliott.
Yeah, so yes, that is done. So I am happy about that. And for your female castings, I'm hoping that, yes, I agree that they should do something like that in January. I'm hoping that you'll get Elaine, Morgase, Eliza, and Min in there for next month for the casting. That would be a nice quadfecta there. And going on the piggybacking what you guys are talking about for Aes Sedai, I know it's season 1, but I know it won't be till like maybe season 3 or 4. But I hope, this is my own personal casting, that when they do get the Cad Swain, that here's something that hasn't been put on the chat board yet, but my personal choice would be Mira Furlan from Babylon 5, who played Delenn. She would be I could see her as Cad Swain very nicely. Croatian actress. She's beautiful. She hasn't aged a day since Babylon 5. I mean, and she can be feisty and, very, take control of stuff. And I can just see her saying "fa" perfectly. So that would be my 2 cents. But my last part is my question to you guys. Do you think that for their next big thing, that their big info dump that they'll do when they get to March has Friday the 13th. So maybe they would push the Watt Wednesday to Friday the 13th and give us the Forsaken. At least, 3 or 4 of the Forsaken on Friday the 13th. And I'll just sit back and listen to you guys rap. Thanks for having me on. Love you guys. I'm going to hang up and just listen.
Hey,
so enjoy, you guys.
I would say to that, why wait until March? There is a Friday the 13th in December.
Just
there is.
TikTok. Let's go.
No, it's not yet.
Also, why didn't they give us the Forsaken on Halloween? I am mad. I didn't get it.
That's maybe they'll wait. Maybe that's next Halloween. You never know.
Next Halloween.
Oh my God.
By the way, I love Isaiah's comment in the chat. Sam Elliott as Bella. I'm in. I like it. That's the fan casting for Sam Elliott is still alive.
I mean, he'd be better off as Pedro Nial or
Don't try to bring him back.
No,
Yeah,
he's
No,
gone.
no,
already
no.
I
left.
don't want him back. I'm just
Oh,
saying,
boy.
like, that's the age range we should be looking at.
Here, I know how we can distract Hal. So they've started filming, right, Nat?
Yeah.
That means they've
Yeah.
got costumes.
Oh my God, the costume designer. Have you looked at who it is?
No. Who is
She's
it?
amazing. Give me a second. Let me re-look it up. She's great. She did costume designing for Shrek.
Interesting.
Yeah. She's got cred. She's done the Chronicles of Narnia. She did American Psycho. She's done Shrek,
Ooh.
Wolverine, on the basis of sex. The RBG.
Right, that's the
Movie?
thing.
Yeah. Puss in Boots. She's got a good CV in terms of that kind of world and those kinds of clothes. I'm excited.
I am too. I want to see
Maybe
it.
that's
I'm
maybe
over
that's
here
the
like...
only appeal to having men is pants.
Because
I feel like
I've
that's
kind of made that argument for years, but
I feel like that's the leading reason why men are like, oh my God, men is so great. Tight pants.
that is weird.
Cassandra in tight pants.
See, Min is one of my favorites, and that never came across, but now it will forever. Thank you so much for that. By the way, MK just called me out because I didn't mention her options for Sam Elliott cameos. Like, I'm not sure if she was answering them. Swan would be a fun Sam Elliott cameo. Or another Gleeman as a possibility there. Sorry, MK, wasn't trying to ignore you there.
Hey,
He could be Swan's warder.
He could be Halima. Nobody would notice.
Cat Swan.
Yeah.
I feel like he'd look great in drag, just for the record.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Sam Elliott.
He'd never shave his mustache.
Can't believe we ended
I know
this
that's what
with
makes it
Sam-
great.
I can't believe we ended this talking about Sam Elliott. After such a great announcement, we're all coming down off the high of like, now what do we talk about? This is so exciting. Now it's Sam Elliott. Let's spend the rest of the day on Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott is Massimo or Massimo. I don't know how to pronounce his name sometimes. So, by the way, we're coming up on the hour here. Just wanted to thank my panelists for being on tonight. Thank you, the viewers, for coming on. And sorry I wasn't able to bring in all your comments as we went there, but did my best to represent and get some of the questions in. And thank you to our viewers who called in, especially Oscar, for really making a point about how wrong some of our panelists were on our live adaptations. And speaking about our live adaptations, I didn't mention this at the beginning. We are going to be going into The Great Hunt. We're going to be continuing our live adaptation. So next week, this time, 9:00 Eastern, we're going to be starting The Great Hunt, doing a live adaptation, and hoping to bring in the same love and fervor that we had for the first books into the second, getting your opinions about what we should keep and what we should kill from The Great Hunt.
And now we know Pat and Fane will be there.
Yeah, Pat and Fane. Thanks, Glenn, by the way. No, it's not Massimo. I have to go. I can't tell if you're messing with me. I can't wait to do that next week. And then the third week, we'll have an interview with a content creator out there. Don't want to announce it just yet, but we'll do that next week. And we're going to keep that cadence going. Every first Wednesday will be the Watt on Prime announcement. Every second Wednesday will be a live adaptation episode. Every third Wednesday, we'll get a content creator in and we'll do an interview with them. And the fourth one, Wednesdays, will always be a variety show. We'll pick out the Wheel of Game Time that you saw if you watched last Wednesday's episode. We'll do that. We'll do a little round table, just chat with you in YouTube and also just kind of riff on random Wheel of Time and maybe just general fantasy topics. So anyway, thank you to all of you for showing up again for another episode. To my panelists, you're awesome. Love you all. You're the best. And I will say good night from the Dusty Wheel. Smash to black.
Good night.
Right?